Hi class, for this lab you're going to be submitting 3 pictures. So this is one of the problems that we did in the past, and for part of the project you can actually use technology, or you need to use technology to justify your results. So let's assume that for this one they're asking us to create a confidence interval for the mean. You're also given the values of sigma. So the proper code is going to be, you're going to go to stats, then you move to test. Within test you're going to be looking at a z interval. Now, we're going to be doing a z interval, and we're looking at stats since you're given all that information. The sigma value here is 7, and the mean of the sample happens to be 137. Also, the values of n is 32 cars that they're looking at. The confidence level is 95, and this is one of the possibilities. Most likely, because you guys have a sample on the project, you're going to be doing the t interval. So, but here I have an example on how to run a confidence interval again on the calculator. If this were to be the case, please look at your project. You may not have the value of sigma, so that's going to make everything into a t. So the formulas are going to be different, and then the code that you're running is a t. So your first picture, the picture output will be perfectly fine to do. Now, for the second picture, you're going to be doing or running the same code, but using StatCrunch. So let me give you a minute and log into StatCrunch. This is the output that you're supposed to get. Let me pause the video. Okay, once you log into StatCrunch, the same code could be used by going into stats. Then you're going to go into Z-stats. You're probably going to end up on T for your project since you have a sample. And then we're going to be doing with summary. So the sample mean was 137. The standard deviation was actually 7. Sample size is 32. I had tested it previously. And then you're doing a 95. And that's actually it. So please compute it. And for this lab, all I need is a picture. Let me double check that we're matching 134 and a little bit of cash, 139 and a little bit of cash. So this would be the second picture. In your project, let me just input how it's supposed to look. So if you're using StatCrunch instead, you're going to put some sort of a title, and then above you should have your calculations, and here I'll be able to check your results. So you would have all your formulas, and then one part is asking for justification using code. So that would be the code which you're getting from StatCrunch. Now, the last picture, you're going to be using StatCrunch or any other emulator to do a critical value. So let me go back to StatCrunch. And once again, to run this one, you go to stats and Z-stats. For your project, you're most likely going to be doing T-stats. Now, for the critical value, we're looking at the following. So it's a 95. Let me double check. Yeah, it's a 95. So we're going to go into StatCrunch, and then under stats, you're going to go to calculators, and we need for this one the normal. You're most likely going to be using the T for your project since you have a sample, but in this case, it's going to be the normal. And this is what pops up. Once you have it in here, it's going to be between. And then we want a 95. So you're putting the probability in the middle. And then here you have your critical values. If that was the scenario, there would be 1.96. Or for the confidence interval, it'll be the positives. But this will be the picture. Make sure that when you crop it, remove the options. We don't need that. So you're just displaying this. And then in your project, for the critical values, it should look something like this, where I can check what type of distribution you're running, some sort of a title. And then I can see here that this is the proper one. In other words, I can check your results. Once again, for this lab, you're going to be submitting 3 pictures. One where you're using the calculator. The second, StatCrunch, and then the third one, just the picture of the critical value. You don't have to type it in. This is just how it's supposed to look on your project, meaning the picture, some sort of a title, and then if you're using StatCrunch, the picture, some sort of a title, and also if you're using the calculator and some sort of a title. That's actually it. Once again, 3 pictures for this lab.